Hi everybody, I'm Paddy from OddsOnFPL, and here is my Game Week 1 review of the OddsOnFPL team. First up, as you can see, is my team here. In goal was Iverson. I had a strong backline with Trent Alexander-Arnold, Reece James, João Cancelo and William Saliba. In midfield, there was Mohamed Salah, Luis Diaz, Neto, Saka, and up front there was Haaland and Jesus. On the bench there was Danny Ward, Nico Williams, Andreas Pereira and Cameron Archer. So now we're going on to my goalkeeper. In goal, I sort of expected Iverson to play because Ward wasn't fully fit, but Ward started. It's the advantage of having the two keepers, but 1 point only. He's flat-footed for both of their goals, so he could be benched game week 2. Doubt it, but could be. Moving swiftly away from my 1 point goalkeeper, we're going to go back and go to the defence. I was quite happy with my defensive output this week, with Reece James, João Cancelo and William Saliba all getting 2 bonus points as well as a clean sheet. James and Cancelo, though, both got a yellow card, and, well, I'd be surprised that Trent got 1 point, but he was up against Fulham, and, nobody expected that. But yeah, looking at the teams, I thought Cancelo played quite well. He was going forward a lot, very involved in the attack. Reece James, then, yeah, I got very bored watching that Chelsea game, to be honest with you. William Saliba looked a rock. At 4.5 million when I bought him, great punt. Trent obviously will get you points, but starting the season with 1 point is obviously a bit disappointing. Nothing to worry about yet, but yeah, it's not fun. Next up is me telling you to subscribe to the channel or else. Moving from defense to midfield, it's sort of like a bit of a contrast. 2 of my players failed to perform and got 2 points. While Luis Diaz did have a goal disallowed, he looked very involved, and I still think he could be worth the money at 8 million. Salah is gold when it comes to fantasy football. 24 points, he's always going to be a captaincy option. Then Saka performed well, didn't get a goal, what Martinelli did, but he looked threatening. He had more shots as well. The one thing about Neto, which I'm going to show you about, is he looks like he's far more of a skillful player than somebody with end product. Look at this clip here. During the clip, beats his man, gets into the box, decides to shoot rather than cutting it back. It's just a little bit of a worry. He lacks that end product, but he's 5.5 million. That's sort of what you expect. Up top, there's Erling Haaland, who got 13 points, who was my highest point scorer this week. And I'm quite happy with it. The difference between Haaland and Kane was 11 points this week. And I told you all to get Haaland, so you know what I mean. Gabriel Jesus, though, 2 points. Looked promising. Arsenal looked good offensively. He was very involved in the attack. He was a focal point. He will get goals. I would not be transferring him out. He looks like he'll get goals this season. Probably about 15 to 20 if I had to estimate. And yeah, hopefully next week it will be more. Overall, looking at the team, I'm quite happy with my selections. The defence was quite good. And the Liverpool players who underperformed this week, I do expect them to do better. Looking at players like Trent and Luis Diaz, I do think they'll get points, and pretty rapidly too. 1 game doesn't make a player bad, and trust me, these are not bad players. Looking at my team in general, there are a couple of things that I'm not too keen on. I think Neto's time could be short-lived if he doesn't perform this week. And Iverson and Ward, whilst very cheap, not really sure they'll get me a lot of points. So that's something definitely to consider. Looking at the bench though, apart from the goalkeeper, I'm very happy with Nico Williams. He almost got an assist for Surridge, but they don't look like they'll keep a lot of clean sheets. Looking at Andreas, well, he played as a 10. He was all over the pitch. He didn't get anything for it, but he was immense. Set pieces galore, and he looks a quality player. Maybe he just needed to be a big fish in a small pond. Who knows? Cameron Archer as well got minutes, and something to consider is there's rumours that Ollie Watkins could be made available for sale by Aston Villa. So Archer's minutes could increase if he has fallen out with Gerrard. So yeah, overall this week I'm pretty happy with the team. We've ended the game week with 73 points, and that leaves us in the world a beautiful 897,908. Bet you didn't expect to see this after going so long in the video without it. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to choose my team for game week 2 now. And I've sort of done it a bit more dynamically. You might have seen on Twitter that I have created my own template, and it's just Photoshop with a bit of green in the background. So yeah, it just makes my life a little bit easier. Looking at the team, obviously there's players within it who are not going to be starting. Last week you can see that Iverson didn't start, so to get rid of him, I'm doing this. This means that Ward goes in goal, and then in defense, the obvious one as well is Nico Williams. You're gone out of there. So then these lads all get pushed across to a 4-man defense this week. Looking at the fixtures, there's Crystal Palace at home, Leicester at home. Look at all these home fixtures. Nobody's home alone this week. Then in midfield, the obvious one to get rid of is Andreas against Wolves, but it's not that obvious. I think it's a coin toss between these two who does better. Both sides had their, ifs and buts, but Fulham looked better on game week 1 than Wolves. But Neto, I think, has a bigger upside, and he's not my issue. I'm gonna not play Andreas this week, and Andreas will be my first choice sub. So then it's these lads here who will be my starting midfielders. Nice and easy. And then I've got to get rid of a forward. I wonder who that's going to be. Cameron Archer. Yeah, you're gone. So yeah, so this is my lineup. I'm not making any transfers this week. If I was to consider one, the only player that I consider getting rid of would be Ward. But he's 4 million, so it's not an easy way out. I sort of regret that, going that way rather than downgrading somebody else. If I had just chosen somebody cheaper than Cancelo, like a Walker or an Ake, I could have had, an Edison in goal, and that might have been a little bit better. But swings and roundabouts. This game's all about choosing and sticking with it. In the question of who I am going to captain this week, it's between 2 players. I'll let you guess. It's obviously going to be between Neto and James. No, obviously not. It's going to be between Salah and Haaland. Haaland has a 70% chance of scoring according to the bookies. 70 plus. And over 30% chance of scoring 2 or more. Salah only has like a 50% chance of scoring. So, yeah. The issue here is Salah gets clean sheet points, which he'll probably keep against Crystal Palace. But, he won't get as many bonus points as Haaland. Both of these are good picks, but I'm not brave enough to not go with Haaland against Bournemouth. So my captaincy this week will be Haaland. So yeah, that's my team. No transfers. I'm keeping one and rolling it onto next week. It will give me the option to potentially downgrade somebody like Neto into a 4.5 million midfielder or a 5 million midfielder, and potentially upgrade a goalkeeper. As well, next week, Luis Diaz might come out because of the fact they're playing Man United. Not sure how nailed he is, and if Jesus blanks again, something to consider. So yeah, anyway, I've been Paddy. If you've enjoyed the video, leave a comment down below. Tell me your issues. Tell me, not those kind, with your fantasy team. But yeah, I've been Paddy. Thanks for watching, you odd feckers. Leave a like, subscribe, all that sort of jazz. Chat to you soon.